Let me also include Mr. Sanjeev Shrivastav, international affairs expert, into this conversation. Mr. Shrivastav, well, OIC and Saudi Arabia, they obviously go hand in hand. There's a message also I would assess here for a country like Turkey that has always wanted to be the center of the Islamic world. India has had its run-ins, its problems with Turkey, but the fact of the matter is that Saudi Arabia still controls that title. Saudi Arabia still controls the Arab world, and it also controls, like I already mentioned, countries like Pakistan and Malaysia, to even Indonesia to a large extent. How important is Prime Minister's equity and equation with Saudi Arabia at this point in time, especially with MBS, since he is the de facto leader right now?
Well, I think Vineet, Indian Prime Minister's visit to Saudi Arabia is very significant, and no doubt Saudi Arabia is still the leader of the Muslim world, and this country has led the entire Muslim world into the bigger successes. But yes, as far as the Turkey is concerned, Recep Tayyip Erdogan wants to emerge as a new leader of the Muslim world, which is not very much liked by countries like Saudi Arabia and UAE. And the kind of policies Recep Tayyip Erdogan adopted with regard to kind of a polarization, and he has been approaching a country like Pakistan and Malaysia, Indonesia, etc., and a new kind of friction which he has created among the countries of the Muslim world is certainly not appreciated by Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia has been looking into the Turkey's maneuvers, diplomatic maneuvers, with a great sense of suspicion. And that is the reality. But having said that, there is no doubt that Saudi Arabia is still the leader of the Muslim world, and it is playing a very vital role in the entire Middle East region. And at this point of time, if you look at to have a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, all the happenings or the efforts are being made in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh. And Saudi Arabia is at the center of the international diplomatic activity and engagements. So I think Saudi Arabia's leader, Mohammed bin Salman, certainly is a visionary leader, and he knows about the upcoming future. He assesses very rightly that there will not be much future for the fossil fuel. And the era of the fossil fuel is going to be over in the next 2-3 decades. And the entire world is moving towards clean energy. Electric vehicles are getting prominence. World will be using more and more nuclear energy too in times ahead. So I think when such age comes in the world, then what will happen to a country like Saudi Arabia? That is a matter of a serious concern, which Mohammed bin Salman knows very well. And that is why he has a vision of 2030, where he is diversifying his economy, not only economy, but so he has a vision of modernizing Saudi Arabia socially and culturally too. And he is taking a lot of initiatives which certainly will modernize Saudi Arabia. And as he goes ahead in that process of modernizing Saudi Arabia, he sees India as a very crucial partner. Because India is the largest democracy, obviously we are, but we are a large, fastest growing major economy. We are very advanced in our technology domain too, digital domain too. So all those benefits he will be able to garner if he has a good relationship with India, and that is why it is very clear that a country like Saudi Arabia has also dehyphenated its relationship. Like earlier, they were treating India and Pakistan on the same page. But now Saudi Arabia knows that India has gone far ahead. India has emerged as a big power, a global power, and that is why our Prime Minister gets a very special treatment whenever he goes there. And Saudi Arabia does not see its relationship with India with that prism of hyphenation, which they were earlier doing between India and Pakistan. So I think a lot of changes have taken place in India-Saudi Arabia relationship. You yourself know, Vinit, you have been there on that territory. So I think we are in a new age. This is a new India, and this new India also knows the importance of Saudi Arabia. and our influence, our various kind of engagements are growing in the Middle East region, whether it is India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, or I2U2 initiative, our relationship with GCC countries, our relationship with Israel and Palestine has also got dehyphenated. We treat Israel with a separate, in a separate way, and with Palestine in a separate way. So I think India has also, taken a different approach, a very new approach with regard to dealing with the Middle East region, which Saudi Arabia understands very well. And that is why, in my assessment, Saudi Arabia gives a very special treatment to India. And with regard to this visit, this is going to be very significant. And both the leaders, MBS and our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, is going to be co-chairing this India-Saudi Arabia Strategic Partnership Council. And they are going to have this second meeting. And the first was one in 2019. And certainly at the last of it, I would say, when Prime Minister Modi has chosen that destination of Jeddah, that shows that both the nations are giving more and more importance to the economic partnership of this relationship. And this destination of Jeddah, where Prime Minister Modi has visited for the first time, and after 82, when the last Prime Minister Indira Gandhi then had visited, after a gap of nearly 4 decades, this visit is also a very special one, and this will certainly put India, Saudi Arabia.
Let me open the Group Captain UK Devnath also into this conversation. Group Captain Devnath, obviously, there are